there's a great big coil spring in here, you know, and it tightens up and then it lets go. Then these things turn real slowly like this in the store windows, you know.
Is there a motor there?
No, it's just a great big coil spring.
Oh, okay, so it's like a wind-up toy. You wind, and
Yeah,
then it'll
yeah,
go for a certain
yeah,
amount of time
yeah,
until it's
there's a
wound
crank.
down.
There's a crank
I
on the side
see.
to crank
Oh.
out. Yeah. And I bought a lot of harmonicas from this guy. He's an old player, and so he was out in California and he passed away. In
Was
fact,
it?
that
Pipe organ.
That brown is
Yeah, I
this one
see.
right
Yeah,
here.
I see it.
What was his name?
Frank Newbar.
Frank
Yeah, there he is right there.
Yeah.
So I bought a lot of harmonicas from him.
Oh, it looks like
And we
it's
had 3 or 4 other guys. One here in town who's a very large collector, and then a guy up in Delaware, and one other guy. And when we'd find things like this, we'd share them, you know, and you know, well, I'll take this one, that one. These are nice. This thing weighs about a ton, but
and the music box is separate from the
yeah.
harmonica, right? And it's
Yeah. So it's in the shape of harmonica, but a wind-up music
well,
box.
it looks like it is.
No, that's
It
just
isn't.
decorative.
It's just
Yeah, it's just a wind-up music box in the shape
okay.
of a harmonica.
And well, it certainly looks like a chromatic.
No, it's not. It's not a harmonica at all. There's this one. You know, there. I think I can't remember what this is. There's the mechanism. See it? See it?
Beautiful.
I have a number of those. And this one, I thought this was a real harmonica when I bought it. I saw it in the case, and it's a Hohner 270. And I saw it laying there. I said, "What the heck do I want that for?" And the guy said, "Pick it up." Well, I did. Gold filigree and everything. That's pretty nice, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty. This was another oddity. I thought some crazy German made this until I found it in a catalog that I have, and then another friend of mine has it. So you could slide a harmonica in here, and he's got this box. And so you can get wah-wah on it, you know.
Yeah, those.
And then
those
you can go.
Oh, that's. Are they making those?
Oh no, this is from the 1930s. 1930s.
Why aren't they still making them?
I don't
You
know.
think if you played a harmonica?
Well, our club could
that-
use some
I
of
think
those,
you'd
you
think
know.
that-
Yeah, it's pretty clever, isn't it?
Yeah, the club could
Yes,
really get.
Yes.
Oh, it'd be
I
fun.
mean, anybody who plays with
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Because
you,
there are
yeah, you can.
a lot of our
you know,
songs
you
you
can
could.
play "Bang Bang Man Goes the Trolley,"
Yeah,
click,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Yeah, they
Wow.
could make them. And here's Walter Peterson and his Kentucky Wonder Bean.
There's Kentucky what?
Wonder Bean.
Bean?
That's what he called
What's
it.
he?
He's the Kentucky Wonder Bean.
He is?
Walter Peterson, known as the Kentucky Wonder Bean.
Holy
And what he did was that he invented this thing so that you would this would slide and you'd learn how to play a note at a time. Okay?
Oh.
And then back here is all the holes, and you would put a music sheet back here. It's pretty clever
Yeah.
for practicing harmonica technique.
So something where you slip a harmonica in,
Yeah.
would make a music holder.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
This
you
thing
have
is
to
this
do.
thing is this thing. Yeah, this thing comes off.
Yeah.
You know, this thing comes off, and you can put another harmonica in there. And
Did you get a good picture of that?
Pretty good. That's right.
Yeah.
you want to open it again?
Yeah, let me get a picture of him on the cover.
Yeah.
Now let's see what's in there.
Well, he was a wonder.
WLS, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, get that.
Maybe.
Can
Maybe.
you demonstrate how that slides out? The harmonica slides out of that little device.
Well, I don't want to take it out. No, I just, this thing here would slide back and forth, and it would cover the holes that you're playing. You know,
Yeah.
you learn to play a note at a time.
Yeah.
Very clever.
And then there was a series at time when they were decorative ones, that some of the ladies would like, and with little jewels on them and that sort of thing. And salt and pepper shakers.
Oh.
They don't play, but they're in the shape
Too
of
funny.
harmonica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of harmonicas ever being that popular that something like that.
And this was a harmonica made in the States in the 50s, and it's got harmonica reeds in it. And what you would do is you would play the reed like so. I don't think it sold very much. So there's a lot of when you say harmonica, you got to be careful because there's a lot of stuff here. I'll show you something that's okay. These are pretty interesting. It's like the other one that you saw. Tube type jobs are very, very rare and very valuable. And the Russians made a bunch of them, or the Germans did, and to honor Sputnik. So I have some big ones and small ones. So there's a harmonica in here, and then finger holes. So you can play kind of as you're playing a note. You can kind of use that for a flute effect, I guess, is what you'd call it. And I have a number.
That was for Sputnik?
Yeah, Sputnik. Yeah, Sputnik.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, here's a big one. Here's the big Sputnik. So I'm kind of a history buff, so my harmonica stuff has a lot to do with history as far as I'm concerned. So it's just like the other one, only it's bigger.
Is this Sputnik too?
This is Sputnik, yeah. That's Sputnik.
Yeah.
And I've got a number of those, as that one you saw. So they're very, very rare. These things, I've got 4 of them, and 4 or 5 of them, and you can see this is really a big one. Harmonica on either side.
Is that wood or?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's wood. Yeah, I like this one. A wood comb, and it makes sense in a way. You can just spin it around and play notes. Whoops. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else in here of any particular interest. They're just Polish. I've got ones from Poland, ones from Yugoslavia, ones from who knows where. And,
Yeah, these are wonderful cabinets.
yeah, they're
Or the
dental cabinets.
Dental, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this is working.
Is just unbelievable.
This one's not working right now. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe you should turn the wall switch off again on you.
Yeah. No, 'cause I think. No, this works. So I'll have to look into that. But there's some interesting things in here. There it is.
There you go.
I just didn't have it turned on. So this is the original light bulb from the 1920s in there.
Good grief.
1930s. Yeah, the original. Yeah, I could take. I'm not going to undo it, but
No.
it's an old thing with the filaments. The big filaments showing and all that. It's an incredible thing.
Could you ever replace it with a new one?
Yeah.
Or it's a standard socket?
And this is a chord harmonica that's made specifically for one thing. All right. I'm not doing a very good job, but it's God Save the King. Maybe it's this way.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's God Save the King,
It
and
is,
it's a
it is.
chord harmonica to play God Save the King. It's incredible.
so yeah, who made that?
Actually, it's a company called MGM, but we think it was made up in Klingenthal, probably by Seidel or one of those.
Would that have been made for the coronation?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and then you can see a lot of. Here's the Emden. That's the Emden that I have, and this is an Emden that my friend Rick Nielsen made for me. Isn't that something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he did a good job.
Yeah. So I have a whole story in the end, and I've done some presentations on warships and stuff, and I even have some original buttons from the original 1914 ship. You know, these were buttons that would be on the officers' jackets.
Harlan, was there anything done specifically for the 1904 fair?
Yes.
Or for any of the World's Fairs?
Oh yeah, yeah. There is. I might have some. This is just a beautiful harmonica in a beautiful box.
Oh, it is, yeah. It looks like my tremolo box reproduction.
And here's von Hindenburg. You know who he was?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know the
There's
Hindenburg.
Hindenburg. It's a postcard with a harmonica in it. So this was sent out in the early mid 1900s with Count von Hindenburg and a harmonica in it. I have a few of these in different
Good grief.
styles.
I never even imagined a
Oh yeah, this is incredible.
a harmonica in a
I
postcard.
don't know what it's worth nowadays, but it's worth a lot. Here's this one is I have a bunch of these, but this one's interesting because the resonator box is so darn big, you know. And they did that to try to, you know, a lot of power, a lot of, you know, the resonance in there would give you.
Didn't need a microphone.
Yeah, that's a tremolo, you know, and the tremolo is it's the same note, and they're tuned a half octave off. So you've got a note here that the lower one is tuned a half octave off the other. So.
I bought one at
So you get it.
Spa last year. I love the sound of those.
Yeah, that's very
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
nice. And then you can see them down there with a myriad of horns. You know, I can take. This one is the battleship, famous battleship, a German battleship, made for that.
Yeah.
So with this, are you comfortable with just going around like this?
Yeah,
Abso-
it's
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
You have a time limit or anything?
No.
No,
Because I could
no.
talk about this forever. Yeah, so,
No,
so
we
don't-
do have a dog at home that's
Oh,
you know
okay.
that you should
Well, we-
probably you know,
Now,
but
these
I
are-
think we're good.
These are current, and I have a number of these. And this was given to me as a presentation for doing work for Seidel. And it's one of their commemorative units. This thing here is just feel the weight of that.
Oh my gosh, what's it? Why is it so heavy?
It's glass. It's cut glass in there and then gold plated. It's beautiful.
Now, why would they use glass instead of?
Well, they just wanted to make it
Something special.
It's the 1847. Whoops. And the owner did the same thing. This one is in silver, and you'll see that this is glass also. You can see a glass comb. See it? I have it in silver and gold. Pretty rare. This is the gold one. So, 150-year anniversary.
Wow.
This is for the Seidel was formed in 1847, so this was brought out in for.
Oh, I didn't realize it was nearly that old.
Oh, they're older than.
Seidel.
They're older. Yeah, they're older than Hohner, much older. Yeah.
Huh.
So I've got a number of those. This is another one that they brought out, and it's a limited edition. These are all limited edition. This is 70 of 160, and.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and yeah,
But
that's,
yeah, I mean the box is.
oh yeah,
yeah,
it's
very
just,
very nicely
yeah,
done.
it's incredible. And then I just got a lot of stuff in here. Well, there's some interesting things here. These are Japanese, and I have a lot of Japanese harmonicas, but these are interesting. You know, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They have some 27, 29 because they have a different musical scale, you know, for Japanese, and they have huge. They have orchestras of 100 people, and maybe their job is to play a particular note on a bass or a particular note on whatever, you know, and so a lot of volume, well made stuff. And they're very proud of themselves, so you know it's. But these are very, very collectible. There's a lot of Japanese stuff that I have that's not all that collectible, but I collect it anyway, I guess. I've been making my own harmonicas, and I got a bunch of these. I got a bunch of these from Joe Falisco. You know Joe?
No,
Oh, you don't know Joe Falisco?
no.
Joe Falisco. He's in every spa meeting. He's the guy with the beret on, and he plays with a lot of things. He's at every. He's been at every.
I'm trying to think if I remember him from
He's
last
a teacher.
year.
He's a teacher, and he puts on classes and all that sort of stuff. And he makes them for Howard Levy, Mad Cat Ruth, and that sort of thing. So I just want to display those because they're pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for him
I
next
forget
week.
what I got in here. Well, more harmonicas, but these are big sets. Missing one. Missing one.
And what are those?
Well, this is a rod. Oops, I have to put that in there. This is a rod that goes through, and then these mount in the middle. You can see that they have they snap in. There's a thing missing that holds them, so it turns out to look like this with a spindle.
Oh, yeah. I get it. I see. Yeah. Is that, I guess, for the diatonic if you're wanting to switch
Well, this isn't all the keys, and this
keys? Yeah.
yeah this one is octave, all octave. You can see the size of holes, and these are all the keys. I know a guy in Germany. I know him well. He can play a song and spin this thing around and pick up a different key as he goes. He just plays a song like this.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That would bring him to spa.
Oh, he's a black fellow. He's been working for Hohner forever.
Huh.
A lot of songs.
What's his name?
I'm trying to think. I can't remember right now. I've known him for years, and I'm just drew a blank. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Everybody knows him. And
Well, we're new to the group,
and
so we're
then
probably the only ones who don't.
I just got these because they're cool. And mostly I got those free from Hohner. They were closed out harmonicas they don't make anymore, So I get them from them once in a while. I'll do a favor for them or something like that.
What kind of favor do you do for Homer?
Research.
Oh. Do they have a pretty good archive themselves?
Well, no, they don't. The Hohner Museum, or the Harmonica Museum in Trossingen, was started by Matthias Hohner. They have somewhere in excess of 50,000 or so unique harmonicas, and they have a really nice museum. I have some pictures. I go there and visit frequently. And Martin Hafner, who's the curator, comes to town and stays with me from time to time. This is an old case you'd find in the music store, and there are a lot of interesting harmonicas in there. There's Morris and Max. They're kind of the Cats and Jammer kids who were taken off of Max and Mort. These guys were always mischievous and always in trouble. They ended up getting thrown in an oven and baked in cookie dough. Is that a terrible kid's story or what?
It sounds like
It's awful.
It sounds like Grimm's fairy tales.
Well, yeah.
Very
I lived in the
grim,
town
very
where Grimm grew up, Hanau, Germany.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well,
And
you survived it.
yeah, and these are just
The
all.
stories.
These are just Hohner after Hohner after Hohner. I don't know, why I would show you any particular one, except they're just, they're just.
This is just amazing. So do you have a count on how many?
Yeah, I have it on the computer.
Oh, my word. So
And
how many?
It's over
About.
6,500. And
Oh, that's pretty.
yeah. And they're just Hohner after Hohner after Hohner. This for the Mexican market. You see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Well, they're just It was called a jazz band. Oh, it's right on. It's called a jazz band, and it's just a two-sided tremolo. You know, I don't have the box for it.
It's beautiful, yeah.
And there's just Honer after Honer. Some of these were made for the Asian market, as you can see. And they have the Asian keys and all. This one is relatively new. This was made in the 50s, but a lot of these were made much earlier than that, of course. They had this for a little while, this case, and the case didn't go over because, you know, the snap would break or whatever, you know. But it's rare in the case. The harmonica is not as rare as the case is. And they're just more of the same down through there. And you can see what's up in here.
This is just amazing.
And then I have, these were sets that would be in a store, you know, in a harmonica store, American Ace. Well, you can see the age of this thing. Little kids harmonica.
It's like a dog
Yeah.
toy or something.
Yeah. And let's see. This is kind of interesting. You can see that one would play this, and at the same time would
Get a rhythm section going there. What fun. Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
So
that's good.
Yeah,
A kid
that's-
would like
I
that.
love that thing.
Was there ever a Howdy Doody harmonica?
Yeah, I think there was. I don't know if I have one or not. I'll have to think about that. Then there was a whole period of time when they just made beautiful harmonicas. You know.
Oh, for sure.
Well, let me show you this one. This is even, I think. Look at that. Here, I'll hold it up for you. 1930s, late 20s. Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, and even the case, the
Yeah.
box.
And it's mint. I don't think it's ever been played.
Beautiful, yeah.
Got enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of pretty with the inlays, the gold inlays, and the little ruby.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So, you know, it's a tremolo. C, probably C and D, you know, key of C and D, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it looks like the Honer. They still have a beautiful graphic on the front of their tremolo boxes.
And I found this picture in an antique shop. I have no idea who it is, but I love him.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you? Isn't he good?
Yeah, it doesn't say on the back.
No. No.
Yeah, what a shame.
You remember the movie where they hung the guy from the horse? They played the harmonica in that thing. It was with the guy who always plays a bad guy. Something in the West. Well,
I can't help you with it.
I'll think. But this is the German. Spielt mir das Leid von Tom. I played no more for Tom. And then there's a harmonica about it, but it was a special condition. Charles Bronson, and he was in the movie with Claudia Cardinelli and Henry Fonda, and Something in the West. God darn, I don't know why, but it's kind of neat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, and it's pretty modern. You know, it's got a barcode with it, but not many of them around.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it still can be collectible.
I have no idea what's on there. I haven't looked there in months. Stuff. A lot of Japanese stuff.
Well, this is just amazing.
Yeah. I have a couple of these. There's one over there, but this is kind of interesting. It's a violin with a harmonica in the end of it for the kids.
The magic violin.
Yeah.
That would be fun to get one of those as a kid.
Yeah. And there's a lot of extraneous stuff down in here. Just a lot of old Japanese harmonicas and all that stuff. Did not. And then, you know, into here, here's a, probably haven't seen one of these. Ever seen a bass like that?
Oh my gosh, no. I wonder if Buddy has. Oh, the wood. It's beautiful wood. California. Well, it fits.
Yeah. That's their first one. That's the way they made it before they went to to one of these, you know. And they even made it in just in a shart farm, you know, so like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you know this one. So
I do. It's a little older than the one I have.
yeah, this is pretty old.
Those are a little hard to come by.
This is beautiful.
Oh yeah. It looks Art Deco.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. There was in the 30s there was that Art Deco period, and that's what happened. Then all of these are, as you see, these are military themed harps, and there's when we're marching. The Germans don't like to sell these in Germany, but they're all military themes. For this was the First World War, the Watch on the Rhine, where in fact there's a big monument. I've been to that monument, and when the French were trying to come across the Rhine in World War I. So I do a lot of history on that, but there's just all the military, and then these are all what they call echo harmonicas,
They're
which
still using this picture.
yeah, they still use that. And there's
You know, you're right about the history, though. I know, like with the World's Fair, it. I don't collect souvenirs from the fair, but I do like artifacts and things from the era. But you learn so much about history in general when you research anything like that.
well, that's usually what I do. You know, the history thing is something.
Did you like history in school?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Not all
There's
kids
Johann
do.
Schunk, and he's just